8:24, yes. Welcome home. Welcome back to BT on this Friday morning. Our chance to talk real estate because some housing numbers in April are in. Joanna Connolly, the real estate editorial director from Glacier Media, back with us. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Riaz.
So before we talk about the CMHC quarterly assessment, let's get specific with Vancouver. And what did we find in April?
Yeah, so in April, Metro Vancouver home sales were down about 31%, like across all property types. And that's a year-over-year figure. They're a little bit higher than March's figures, which is what you'd expect as the spring market warms up. But this is a trend that we've seen each month, year-over-year, that these figures have been way below the previous year. And actually, overall, the sales are 43% below the 10-year average. So you can see, you know, what a quiet year it's been so far, Riaz. And then you've got prices, which overall are down about 8.5%. So the Composite benchmark price is now just a few thousand over $1 million, and we'll probably expect that to dip below the $1 million mark next month, which would be the first time it's been in that position for a couple of years.
And that benchmark price that is dipping, when you reference that, is that for detached homes specifically?
No, that's for all home types combined. Detached homes are more like 1.4. So this is all home types combined. The benchmark is just over $1 million.
So we're still paying a significant amount.
Yeah.
Areas that you look at, I know you say this is across all property types, but any areas that saw a bigger cool-off than others?
Yeah, so it really does vary by area and by property type. So West Vancouver is where you're seeing the steepest price declines, around 15% for detached homes year over year. And then you've got places like the Bowen Island and the Sunshine Coast have been a little bit insulated, but are now finally succumbing to the slowdown, but still performing better than most, just maybe 0.5% in price declines in those areas.
And any indication for expectations? Because, I mean, now that we're into May, a lot of people may be thinking, if they were planning on selling their place, this is the time to show it off, of timelines for how long these properties are staying on the market?
Yeah, they're staying on longer and longer, because what's happening is people are really listing their homes at a regular rate for the market, but because there's so little absorption happening right now, the listings are just piling up and up, right? So we're finding that people have got a lot more choice, and buyers can kind of take their time, and so that's going to take sellers longer to sell their homes.
Patience is part of the process, no
Yeah.
doubt. Okay, the CMHC quarterly assessment, what did we learn about how trends are being impacted?
Yeah, so the CMHC, it is quarterly, so it's been looking at a bigger picture, and it assesses 4 risk factors, which I won't go into detail about, but basically it's saying in each of these risk factors, which include price appreciation and overheating, the market in Metro Vancouver and across Canada is really cooling down. So it's saying that the risk factors are lower than they were. However, overall, CMHC is still saying that the Metro Vancouver market is still vulnerable, which suggests that it sees a further correction in the future, potentially. And of course, this uncertainty is really keeping buyers out of the market, and the mortgage stress test that we've seen, which is apparently a cause of a lot of this slowdown.
Well, there's been a lot of commentary on the fact there's still a lack of understanding of how the stress test actually works.
Yeah, so another headline this week was a TD poll saying that around 60% of Canadian homeowners and home buyers don't actually understand what the stress test means for their own home purchase. So in a nutshell, the stress test is you have to qualify on your income at either the Bank of Canada posted rate or the rate that you're going to be paying plus 2%, which forces you to have a buffer in what you're paying. It insulates you from future rate rises or financial hardships. But of course, it also reduces purchasing power, which means that, especially at the lower end of the market, buyers are having a hard time actually getting into that market.
Lots to consider. I know we got to wrap right now for time, but quickly, avocado toast, is this a marketing tool that some developers are using?
It's more of a PR stunt than a marketing tool, but there are lots of incentives that developers are using for condos right now. So low deposits is one of them. You have a lower down payment, and that's really helping buyers get into new condos. And
some gift cards to go out there and enjoy your avocado toast, too. It's an interesting game, this real estate market. Joanna, listen, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Before we take a break, Greg